Hey everybody, Mr. Smith here, and I'm going to be reading to you today a couple of chapters from one of our Year 3 reading spine books. The book I'm going to be reading to you is The Sheep Pig. Don't know if that's forwards or backwards, but there you go. It's The Sheep Pig, which was turned into the very popular movie called Babe, if you've ever seen the movie Babe. So this is the actual story by Dick King-Smith, and I'm going to read you a few chapters today, and then every week on our timetable from then on in I'll read you a few more chapters until we finish the story. Okay, so sit yourselves down, buckle up, and enjoy a few chapters from The Sheep Pig. Chapter 1. Guess my weight. "What's that noise?" said Mrs. Hoggett, sticking her comfortable round red face out of the kitchen window. "Listen! There it is again! Do you hear it? What a racket! What a row! Anybody think someone was being murdered? Oh, dearie me, whatever it is, just listen to it, will you?" Farmer Hoggett listened. From the usually quiet valley below the farm came a medley of sounds. The oompa-oompa of a brass band, the shouts of children, the rattle and thump of a skittle alley, and every now and then a very high, very loud, very angry sounding squealing, lasting perhaps 10 seconds. Farmer Hoggett pulled out an old pocket watch, as big, round as a saucer, and looked at it. "Fair starts at 2, he said. "It started." "I knows that," said Mrs. Hoggett, "because I'm late now with all these are cakes and jams and pickles and preserves as it meant to be on the produce stall this very minute. And who's going to take them there? I'd like to know. Why, are you? Cool, but afore you does, what's that noise?" The squealing sounded again. "That noise?" Mrs. Hoggett nodded a great many times. Everything that she did was done at great length, whether it was speaking or simply nodding her head. Farmer Hoggett, on the other hand, never wasted his energies or his words. "Pig," he said. Mrs. Hoggett nodded a lot more. "I thought it was a pig. I said to myself, that's a pig, that is. Only nobody round here do keep pigs. 'Tis all sheep for miles about. What's a pig doing? I said to myself, anybody thinking they was killing the poor thing. Have a look when you take all this stuff down, which you better do now. Come on, give us a hand. It can go in the back of the Land Rover. 'Tisn't raining, 'twon't hurt. Wipe your boots afore you comes in." "Yes," Farmer Hoggett replied. When he had driven down to the village and made his delivery to the produce stall, Farmer Hoggett walked across the green, past the hoopla stall and the coconut shy and the Aunt Sally and the skittles and the band, to the source of where the squealing was coming from, which came every now and again from a small pen of hurdles in the far corner, against the churchyard wall. By the pen sat the vicar, notebook in hand, a cardboard box on the table in front of him. On the hurdles hung a notice: "Guess my weight. 10 pence a go." And inside was a little pig. As Farmer Hoggett watched, a man leaned over and picked it out of the pen. He hefted it in both hands, frowning and yawning and pursing his lips in a very considering way. while all the time the piglet struggled madly and yelled blue murder. The moment it was put down, it quietened. Its eyes, bright, intelligent eyes, met the farmer's. They regarded one another. One saw a tall, thin, brown-faced man with very long legs, and the other saw a small, fat, pinky-white animal with very short legs. "Oh, come along, Mr. Hoggett," said the vicar. "You never know, he could be yours for 10 pence. Guess the weight correctly, and at the end of the day, you could be taking him home." "Don't keep pigs," said Farmer Hoggett. He stretched out a long arm and scratched its back. Gently he picked it up and held it before his face. It stayed quite still and made no sound. "Oh, that's funny," said the vicar. "Every time so far that someone's picked him up, he's screamed his head off. He seems to like you. You'll have to have a guess." Carefully, Farmer Hoggett put the piglet back in the pen. Carefully, he took a 10-pence piece from his pocket and dropped it in the cardboard box. Carefully, he ran one finger down the list of guesses already in the vicar's notebook. "Quite a variation," said the vicar. "Anything from £20 to 40 so far." He wrote down Mr. Hoggett and waited, pencil poised. Once again, slowly, thoughtfully, the farmer picked the piglet up. Once again, it remained still and silent. £31, said Farmer Hoggett. He put the little pig down again. And a quarter, he said. 31¼ pounds, thank you, Mr. Hoggett. We shall be weighing the little chap at about 4:30. Be gone by then. Well, we can always telephone you if you should be the lucky one to win. Never win nothing, me. As he walked back across the green, the sound of the pigs yelling rang out as someone else had a go. You never do win nothing, said Mrs. Hoggett at tea time, when her husband, in very few words, had explained matters. Though I've often thought I'd like a pig. We could feed it on scraps. He'd come just right for Christmas time as well. Just think, 2 nice hams, 2 sides of bacon, pork chop, kidneys, liver, chitterling, trotters. Save his blood for black pudding. Oh, that's the phone. Farmer Hoggett picked it up. Oh, he said. Okay, that is the end of chapter 1. So there we have it. Farmer Hoggett has gone to the fair and he's heard this squealing sound going on and wondering what on earth it was. Turns out it was one of the side stalls where guess the correct weight of the pig, win the pig. And he's given it a go. Something makes me feel like he had a good connection, because everybody else that picked up the pig writhed around and squealed and didn't want to be there. But when Farmer Hoggett picked up the pig in his arms, the pig was silent and calm and comfortable. Almost like they trusted one another. Be interesting to know what happens in the next chapter. So you'll have to tune in on our next video, take a look. It'll either be in this week's timetable or next week's timetable, and we can find out what happens in the next chapter. Okay?